Some true stories don't rely on monsters or blood. They disturb you, because they feel like they could happen to anyone. This story was sent anonymously, and after reading it, you'll understand why. In 2019, a man named Ethan moved into a small apartment in a quiet neighborhood. The rent was cheap, the location was good, and the landlord seemed eager to fill the place. Too eager. Ethan asked why the apartment had been vacant for so long. The landlord smiled and said people usually stayed only a short time before moving away. Ethan didn't think much of it. The first week was normal. Quiet nights, no strange noises, no bad feelings. Until Ethan noticed something odd. Every morning his front door was unlocked. He was certain he locked it every night. He even started checking it twice, sometimes 3 times. Still, every morning it was unlocked. He installed a small camera facing the door. Nothing expensive, just enough to ease his mind. The first night, the footage showed nothing unusual. The second night changed everything. At exactly 3:12 a.m., the door handle slowly turned. The door opened. Someone stepped inside. The camera glitched for 2 seconds. When the image returned, the apartment was empty again. The door was closed. The timestamp showed only 4 seconds had passed. Ethan watched the footage over and over. No face, no sound, just a shape entering and vanishing. He didn't sleep that night. The next morning, something new was waiting on his kitchen table. A glass of water. Ethan didn't remember pouring it. He dumped it down the sink and left for work, convincing himself he was stressed and imagining things. That night, he slept with the lights on. At 3:12 a.m., he woke up. He didn't know why. The apartment was silent, but he felt watched. Then he heard breathing, not from the hallway. From inside his bedroom, slow and controlled. He pretended to be asleep. The breathing moved closer, then stopped. In a calm voice, someone whispered his name. Ethan didn't move until morning. When the sun rose, he checked his phone. There was a photo in his gallery. Taken at 3:13 a.m., it showed him lying in bed. Sleeping Ethan went to the police. They checked the apartment. No signs of forced entry, no fingerprints, no explanation. They suggested he might be sleepwalking. That night, Ethan locked himself in his bedroom and pushed furniture against the door. At 3:12 a.m., his phone vibrated. A text message appeared from an unknown number. "You don't need to hide." Another message followed. "You already let me in." Ethan's bedroom door creaked, not opening, just creaking, like someone leaning against it. Then a final message appeared. "Check the lease." Ethan grabbed the papers from his desk. In the fine print, under an outdated clause, there was a sentence he had never noticed. "Landlord retains access to the premises at all times." Ethan laughed in relief, then froze, because the landlord didn't have a key. Ethan had changed the locks the day he moved in. The next morning, Ethan left the apartment and never returned. He slept in his car, then at a friend's place. 2 weeks later, curiosity got the better of him. He checked the camera footage remotely. The apartment was empty until 3:12 a.m. The camera turned on by itself. Someone stood in the middle of the living room, facing the camera, not moving. At 3:13 a.m., the person raised a hand and waved. Then the feed cut out permanently. Ethan deleted the footage and threw the camera away. But sometimes, when he locks his door at night, he feels a strange certainty that somewhere, at exactly 3:12 a.m., someone is checking to see if it's unlocked. Ethan tried to forget the apartment. He told himself it was stress, lack of sleep, fear feeding on itself. He stopped checking the time at night. He stopped looking at doors before bed. For a while it worked. Then one evening, months later, he stayed at a motel during a work trip. The room was unfamiliar. The silence felt heavy. At exactly 3:12 a.m., Ethan woke up. His eyes snapped open without reason. The digital clock beside the bed glowed red. 3:12. His stomach tightened. He listened. The room was quiet. Then he heard it, a soft click. The sound of a lock being tested, not forced. Tested, Ethan sat up, holding his breath. The motel door didn't open. Instead, his phone vibrated. A notification appeared. Smart lock activity detected. Ethan didn't own a smart lock. Another notification followed. Access denied. Then a message appeared on his screen from an unknown contact. Still locking your doors. Ethan dropped the phone. He didn't sleep again that night. Till after that, the pattern continued. Whenever Ethan stayed somewhere new, he woke up at 3:12 a.m. apartments. Hotels, friends' houses, always the same time. Sometimes there were sounds. A door handle turning, floorboards creaking. Sometimes there was nothing at all. Just the feeling of being checked, like a routine. One night, exhausted and angry, Ethan whispered into the dark. "What do you want?" His phone lit up instantly. "You moved, that's how I know it's still you." Ethan felt his chest tighten. Still you, as if someone was waiting for him to change. Weeks later, Ethan received an email from an address he didn't recognize. No subject line, just one sentence. "I like the old place better." Attached was a photo. The apartment. Not empty, clean. Lights on. A glass of water sitting on the kitchen table. And on the couch, someone sitting with their back to the camera. The person's posture was wrong. Too still, too patient. Ethan zoomed in. On the wall behind the couch was something new. A list written directly onto the paint. Dates, times, addresses. Every place Ethan had slept since leaving the apartment. The last line was blank. Waiting. Ethan changed his phone. He changed his email. He stopped traveling. But some habits don't belong to you once they're learned. One night, half asleep, Ethan unlocked his front door. He didn't remember doing it. In the morning, the door was wide open. On the floor was a glass of water. Ethan says he understands now. It was never about the apartment. It was about access, about learning patterns, about waiting until someone stopped being careful. Because doors aren't always broken into. Sometimes they're opened. Ethan no longer locks his door at night. He says it feels pointless. Because if something wants to get in badly enough, it won't knock. It will just wait and check. At 3:12 a.m.,